Welcome back to Forks, Knives, and Spoons for a summer tour of Easton Town Center.
This episode is jam-packed with dining and entertainment.
We visited World of Beer
And Forbidden Root.
plus Cooper's Hawk Winery and Restaurant with good friends Maurice and Stephanie.
We also enjoyed live music at Easton Yard, plus the comic Shula King at the Funny Bone. More on that later. Easton Town Center is a premier U.S. destination. Chain store age, the business of retail, named Easton the #1 retail center experience in the United States for 2021.
Check out our Cheesecake Factory episode for more fascinating facts about Easton.
Now on to the tour.
On this adventure, we attended Easton Unplugged at the Yard. It's an outdoor entertainment space surrounded by lots of places to eat and drink.
And it's also a nice place to go to find a place to sit, relax, and unwind, like the fire pit in the middle of summer.
Like the song says, JJ, some like it hot and they sweat when the heat is on.
There you go. Now, according to the website Columbus on the Cheap, live acoustic music with Easton Unplugged at the Yard happens Thursdays from May through September 2022, and that occurs 6 to 9 p.m.
Anyone can enjoy the show. Just find a space, sit down, and enjoy.
We watched the live acoustic show from the patio of Forbidden Root, a brew pub. Now, they hail from Chicago, but came to Columbus releasing specialty pub-only beers every week, craft cocktails, plus a great selection of pub food.
We enjoyed delicious wings with blue cheese and amazing cocktails with funny names.
They sure were. I drank the Gin and Her Friends.
And I enjoyed something called a technically ginger.
Now, if you like reduced pricing, try happy hour at World of Beer before you head out to the Yard.
World of Beer is one of the best places in Columbus for happy hour. Now theirs starts Monday through Friday, 2 to 7 p.m.
Columbus is one of over 50 locations in the United States for World of Beer. They're mostly up and down the East Coast.
On our stop at World of Beer, JJ had the House Mimosa.
And Mia had the House Margarita.
I also enjoyed the House Cosmo and a margarita flatbread.
While I enjoyed the barbacoa tacos, it was actually all at happy hour pricing.
Interested in a more upscale dining experience? Easton does have it all.
They sure do. Back to the north side of Easton, a few blocks from the Yard, you'll find Cooper's Hawk Winery and Restaurant with a patio that spills out into a village promenade.
Cooper's Hawk was bustling with people at the wine tasting bar, where patrons partook in some delicious wine tastings.
Or the folks were browsing the retail space there. It's set up around the entrance. Everything a wine aficionado could want or need.
There's even specialty chocolates to pair with your favorite wines.
For our evening, we opted to skip in-house dining, which is a plenty, and instead we made our way to the patio to enjoy the evening weather and the setting sun.
While waiting for our food, we had to choose from the wine list. You'll notice that they have a wine club. Ooh, wait, love the wine club, you know.
At our table, we had the red wine bottle service, and it was an experience. The server set up an aerator right at our table and poured each glass from it. Here's Mia explaining what we got.
This is a Cab there, so it's a Cabernet and a Red Zinfandel blend. It's a little bit more on the drier side, but it does have some sweet tones to it. It's slightly as what they would describe as jammy. Following an excellent wine selection, we toasted to good friends, good food, and waited anxiously for our menu choices to arrive. The food that started right out the gate was a beautifully baked pretzel roll with butter.
And believe me, it tastes as good as it looked. It gets a fork.
Next were the shareables. We opted for the crispy Brussels sprouts with cashews, mint, sweet chili, and a Thai sriracha.
The Brussels sprouts were what one would expect, crispy with a glaze and tasty sauce.
And you know what? Those definitely get a fork.
Next were the house-made meatballs, rich tomato sauce, burra dolce, basil, extra virgin olive oil, polenta crostini.
The tender meatballs were cradled in an ample amount of sauce and topped with cheesy goodness.
Served with crusty bread, the meatballs were good and earn a fork.
And now on to our entrees.
Our dear friend Stephanie had Dana's Parmesan crusted chickens.
Stephanie was wowed by the green beans, but the crusted chicken, they really left her lacking.
I wouldn't say it's overcooked. I feel like it's just missing something. But it tastes bland to me.
It's missing the salt and pepper. So that crusted chicken, it gets the knife.
And Mia didn't fare much better with the chicken Madeira.
This sauce, they didn't reduce it long enough to really get that creamy texture. That's reduction. You cook it down. Like you leave something on the stove and it gets thick. This was not left to get thick. And the knife strikes again. The chicken Maduras was stabbed.
Oh my. Now, moving on, our good friend Maurice. He was pleased with his red wine braised short rib.
My short rib, it appears to be dry on the top, but it actually is very, very juicy, very tender. Cuts easy. The fat is very marbled in it. I think the taste is amazing, and this is worth a golden spoon.
A golden spoon? A golden spoon. Oh my God.
Thanks for the golden spoon rating, Maurice. Hey. Let's end with JJ's comments about the surf and turf combination of bourbon lacquered barbecue chop and pistachio crusted groper.
Mine, the groper, I think it was cooked perfect. Flaky, right on the mark. The potatoes, they were kind of warm. I like them hot. The pork chop could have been a bit more tender, could have been a bit more juicy. Not juicy at all, but I'll give it a fork. It had the flavor.
All in all, we liked our Cooper's Hawk experience, despite some miscues with the chickens.
That said, we will be back for more of what they have to offer and that spectacular wine service.
Following dinner, we took a stroll on the Promenade and paused by a large fountain, one of several that you can find at Easton.
And love was in the air as we took a photo op on our way to Easton Station.
Don't Maurice and Stephanie look so cute over there? Just live birds.
They sure do. And we did too, sweetheart. We looked fabulous as well.
Following our lovey-dovey photo shoot, we made our way to Easton Station.
That's the part of Easton that's more like a traditional mall. It's got more shopping, dining, and entertainment, from a multiplex theater all the way to the Funny Bone Comedy Club.
And here we are walking up to the club with a pleasant surprise.
My, let's hear that video.
Well, they got you out here. You need to be in the back getting ready, man. What you doing up here?
You just finished the first show. I got to see what people.
Right, but now they coming out. Now that was Shula King, the very person we came to see.
He was setting up to greet guests leaving from his first set.
If you haven't checked out the Shula King on YouTube, well, you should. His brand of humor is definitely universal. It's for everybody.
And his unapologetic and common sense take on life, well, that's just hilarious.
So check him out on YouTube. Here's the link.
Now, after a brief encounter with Shula King, we made ourselves comfortable at the bar for a few drinks.
I began with one of my favorites, a Tito's Dirty Martini.
Oh, well, that sounds very dignified. But it was ditto for Maurice and Stephanie on the Dirty Martini as well, while I retreated to my usual standby, a rum and coke. Twist along, please.
Yes, and you know that's diet too. Now it's off to see the show.
The theater is spacious, but they cram a lot of seats around those small cocktail tables.
But once the show starts, you'll forget all about that. So just order some more cocktails and some food from their menu.
With that said, we enjoyed our night with Shula King and the comics who came before him.
And that's the end of our Easton Tour #1.
Over so soon, and there's so many things to do and see at Easton. There's sure to be an Easton Tour #2 in the future.
Now, I'm positive we'll definitely have a part 2. Till next time, remember to like, share, subscribe. Please leave a comment down below and hit that notification button so you don't miss another episode of Forks, Knives, and Spoons.